How you doing? My name's Anthony. I'm definitely a drug addict and alcoholic. My sobriety date's October 28th, 2023. I have a little over 2.5 years sober. This is the longest I've ever been sober. I've tried getting sober multiple times over the last 15 years, and I've always failed miserably. They say in the program when you share, what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now, and the simplest version of that for me is what it was like. It was terrible. Wanting to be sober and not being able to stop drinking is the worst pain on the planet. It was worse than burying my father. It was worse than losing any loved one. I couldn't do anything sober for such a long time. The only thing I did well sober, if you want to call it that, is I never missed work. I never missed work. I was the drug addict and alcoholic that because I went to work every day, I wasn't so bad. Because I had a wife and a house, I wasn't so bad. And in the end, I almost lost everything. My wife wanted a divorce. My daughter was disgusted by the sight of me, and I was a mean, nasty person, a horrible husband, a horrible father. Drugs and alcohol robbed me of countless hours and days and weeks and months of my life. And in the end, the pain was so bad this time, and I've been to multiple rehabs. And in the end of October, my wife, she threw me out, and she had enough. And I was so alone and so broken. And I had nowhere to turn to, and the only option for me was to stop. So I went to rehab, and what happened was, I went to rehab this time. It was my third treatment center, and I made a decision to stay for the whole 28 days and become a part of the group, and really dive into sobriety, and just with the goal being I just wanted to feel better. The first question they asked me when I was in treatment was, what do I want to get out of treatment? And the only thing I could think of was peace of mind. Getting high, not getting high, lying about it, trying to stop, not stopping. It was a constant 24-hour cycle where I decided to stop using drugs. I gave up on trying to stop. I would just fail miserably every single day, and I just wanted some peace of mind. And as soon as I got out of treatment, within a few weeks, I had a new sponsor. I made 90 meetings in 90 days, and I still make about 5 or 6 meetings a week. I went through the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous twice, and I try to help guys. I try to be a member of the AA community. I sponsor a couple guys. I dove into AA the whole way. A buddy of mine talks about AA as like a good defense. Like the defensive line is making meetings. The linebackers like your prayer. The D-backs are the steps, and you have to have a good defense all the way around. Like if you're not making enough meetings, you gotta hone in on your prayer. If you're not praying enough, you gotta get with the herd and hang out with your guys in the fellowship. And like it's a full gamut of things for me to do every single day to stay sober. And since I went to rehab, I repaired the relationship with my wife 100%, with my daughter 100%. I go to work sober, which was a unique experience for me. That was something I just could not do. I've been a carpenter since 2003, and I've worked my way up the ladder, even during the course of my addiction. But every experience I've had in my career and my personal life was all a big giant scam. I lied, cheated, and stole my way to the top, if you will. And it's different today. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a construction worker, I'm sober, and I wouldn't change a thing. The one thing I'll say is the most important for me is to remember what the gift of desperation brought me. I was alone, on my knees, broken, and that gift of desperation is what changed my life. And I thank God every single day that I wake up without this desire to drink or do drugs. And it took what it took for me. Rehabs, constant banging my head against the wall, constant failure. But once I understood what the gift of desperation was, and how that was so impactful for my life, I changed and I've been sober ever since.